There are moments in life that feel like a sudden demolition. The job you relied on disappears. A long-term relationship ends without warning. You are left standing in the rubble of what used to be a predictable routine. In the silence that follows, a specific fear usually takes over. You look at the pieces on the floor and conclude you made a catastrophic mistake, or that you've been rejected by the very life you tried to build. This fear is a biological reflex. When your daily reality fractures, your brain interprets the sudden lack of certainty as a literal, physical threat to your survival. Within the framework of manifestation, this collapse functions as a clearing, a forced removal of the structures that can no longer support your expansion. You have entered the sacred in-between. This is the highly unpredictable transitional phase, where your old reality has dissolved, but your new life has not yet taken a physical shape. Your higher self does not decorate over a cracked foundation. It clears the ground so the next structure can stand on a foundation of truth. The sacred in-between is incredibly uncomfortable because you are caught between two worlds. The familiar environment is gone, and the future is entirely unwritten. This animated diagram of the brain shows exactly why that void feels so terrible. Uncertainty triggers the amygdala, the brain's internal alarm system. It immediately floods your bloodstream with cortisol, a primary stress hormone. This chemical wave temporarily powers down your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic and creative problem-solving. Your nervous system is strictly hardwired to equate the unknown with the unsafe. When your life changes, your biology sounds a siren, even if that change is exactly what you asked for. You can interrupt this alarm system through neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize its connections. By slowing your breath and anchoring into the present moment, you reactivate the prefrontal cortex. This rewires your mind to view uncertainty as an open field of potential rather than a threat. The panic you feel during a life transition is simply proof that your nervous system is still catching up to your new vibration. To understand why this shift feels like destruction, think of the atoms inside a crystal lattice. To form a new, more complex structure, those atoms have to shake loose and break their old bonds first. This same energetic reorganization happens in your life when you set a new intention. Reality is a vibrational field that must actively rearrange to meet your internal shift. The outdated jobs or relationships start to destabilize because they cannot vibrate at the higher frequency of the person you are becoming. This forces a process of ego disintegration, the necessary shedding of an old identity. If you are manifesting a life of creative freedom, the version of you that was comfortable in a rigid, misaligned role must dissolve to make room for the new version. While a limited perspective sees only ruins, a higher perspective recognizes that your life is breaking bonds so it can reform into a more aligned structure. Take one slow inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and picture the familiar walls of your old life. Watch as the edges begin to shimmer, gently slaking apart and dissolving into floating golden particles. As the old world melts away, imagine a warm, steady golden light pulsing outward from your heart. With each pulse, it replaces the empty space with a soft mist, the pure energy of peace, stability, and creative flow, waiting to take physical form. Resting in this quiet space teaches your nervous system to accept the unknown. You can breathe through the unease and recognize that you are entirely safe in the change. The dissolution of the old makes way for the active rebuild. Constructing your new reality requires you to take deliberate control over your daily focus. The first step is a mental pivot. Catch yourself when you ask, "Why is this happening to me?" and immediately replace it with, "What is this clearing space for?" You can anchor this new focus with 3 daily rituals. Spend 2 minutes each morning visualizing the feeling of your new life. Record a short voice memo speaking directly to your future self. Finally, write a 3-line journal entry observing where your old scaffolding is shaking and what it might be making room for. These simple actions act as a bridge. They pull you out of the passenger seat of victimhood and place you firmly in the role of a conscious creator. As below, so above. The world around us also moves through these cycles, where old institutions and systems shake because they can no longer hold our collective vibration. By regulating your internal chaos, you contribute to the calm that communities rebuild from. Every season of unraveling functions as a pattern correction. Your life is settling into a configuration that can finally sustain the purpose and ease you have been calling in. You are not rebuilding from scratch. You are rebuilding from a foundation of truth, and you are ready for what comes next.